Welcome back to this Let's Play of the original official campaign for Neverwinter Nights 2. Last time we went on a little human and kobold resources spree and hired a bunch of people. Well, we're not actually paying them anything. I guess they're getting paid out of keep funds. At any rate, we have a lot of work left to do on the keep. Edario and Jacoby here are the two merchants, well, the armorer and weaponsmith, but they need ore to work and our miners haven't shown up yet, so we're going to have to essentially pass time before that happens. Let's talk to Master Vedal here and rebuild something. There are a couple things we could rebuild at this point. Most of the internal stuff I'm not going to worry about. I'm going to worry about the roads first, because that'll increase our merchant numbers, which will increase our income. And that means there'll be less of the money that's coming out of my pockets and more that's coming out of the keep funds. Once inside, talk to Kana again. Have the men train. And in this case, we have Catriona here, and I have assigned her to training. So I'm essentially working on building up my forces at this point. I don't really want to mess around with much else. If they're useless, it doesn't matter how many of them there are. Instead of heading back outside this way, I'm going to talk to Wolf's minion to go all the way out to the exit to the world map. Time passes in the keep when you move in and out of that main building. If you don't move in or out of the main building, nothing happens. So you spend, hours out adventuring. It has no effect on the keep.
Come on,
so essentially, as long as you're not messing with anything here, you can't mess anything up. It's just when you actually make decisions, or fail to make decisions if you're just wandering around the keep. There are several points during the story where essentially you'll be left with nothing, and essentially it says everything's tasked to capacity and nothing will happen, and that means you just have to continue the main plot. And you can tell them about the ore you found, and Kalindra here is redundant. You actually only need one of the miners. Having both of them means you get both money and just free metal ingots to work with. Not anything real important. Now that we've got some metal, we've got some mining locations, we can talk to our smiths here and just pay for some basic armor and some basic weapons. And again, those come out of keep funds, but keep funds are probably not going to hold up when I start really throwing the money around. And again, I'm going to go to rebuilding the trail to the keep, and then head back inside to progress time.
There's a matter that requires your attention, Captain. There's a group of people here to see you.
It is a pleasure to meet you. You've made a bit of a name for yourself, and me and my band were hoping to impose upon you. You see, we want to follow in your footsteps and become adventurers. So we've pooled our resources to equip ourselves. And now all we need is a mission that will get us gold and riches.
Now it's not just about that, Narrated. It's also about making the realms a safer place. Too much mischief afoot these days, if you ask me.
Right you are, Brother Maxwell. So, do you have any work for us?
I tried to turn them away.
Okay, sure, well, let's see what they have, what they can help us with.
Near Port Last, we've heard rumors that the Luskins are plotting something. If I had any spare men, I'd send them to investigate.
You hear that? Now that's an adventure. Let's take the high road then.
It's just a rumor. It could be nothing. Wait!
Make sure you have enough rations for the journey, and don't worry, we'll get to the bottom of this.
I fear we've set those poor fools on a dangerous course.
They're part of just the comic relief of the game. One of the jokes in Storm of Zahir is that if you retire early without actually finishing the game, those four will complete the game for you. So Torio Claven is the Luskan ex-Luskan ambassador, and she showed up, begging for mercy, and I suppose we'll give it to her. And you can also just have her executed. But what Torio's function is that she will tell you about people to recruit. If you're reading a guide, it really doesn't matter whether or not you recruit her or not. But we'll give the men orders to train, and talk about Catriona, and she's set to, well, I guess she doesn't do anything just yet. And we can look at the status report. We've got some more merchants. Our equipment's a little better than it was, but we are still, let's say, still pretty poor. And we're at about 7% time passed. I believe you can get up to about 25% or so, maybe 30% time passed before you head out on the next plot mission. I just walked outside, bought the next road upgrade, and bought the next set of armor and weapon upgrades for the troops. Nothing interesting. And there's apparently a special mission available. And we will send the orders to have the men go take care of it. I hate doors. Go away. I'm gonna go back outside, do another set of buying, and be right back. I wasn't able to buy armor. I was only able to buy weapons. Apparently we're out of ore, so I guess we'll have to wait until we had done a little more adventuring and found a little more ore to continue with that. And since we had our men training, and now that they're well equipped, when they went on that first mission, it all went well. So we're still going to have them train, and we're still going to leave Catriona at training. And that's all for now, and then we'll head back outside. Can't upgrade weapons or armor now.
Captain, there's a sheriff from a nearby village that wants your help.
Well met to you, Captain. I'm the Sheriff of Leaves. We're a small village just south of your patrols.
Our patrols have made some of the bandits go elsewhere, in search of easier pickings.
Which sends them right to Leaves, I'm afraid.
Now, I was saying before I was interrupted, I built the walls instead of... I've done all the road upgrades. This is one of the just encounters that happens here.
The bandits have raided our village twice. First time just to steal our pigs, but we're thinking it's going to get worse.
So Leaves wants us to send regular patrols their way to stop them.
Your Lady Conna has the straight of it. It's a lot to ask, I know, but we're desperate.
If we send men over there, those are men we won't have for our own patrols and duty. It could set us back on our own front. The decision is yours.
Okay. And, more or less you can be selfish, or you can help them out. We'll send, let's just send a lot of guys over there.
There's no way my village can thank you enough, Captain. Thank you.
Sending half our men out? Captain, that will severely limit our effectiveness until it's done. I hope you've made the right call.
And there are a couple of modifiers here, some of which you can see and some of which you can't, but your decisions in those affect those modifiers. And apparently our adventuring friends survived, so they have a report for us. And let's look at the report here. We're at 15% test complete, and okay, so our training is best. Our we're still at low unit strength, but we'll see what happens. And she gives you a report on the training, and she says they're better trained now, and I'm going to have them continue to train. And that's all for now. We'll go back outside. I am starting to run out of money, unfortunately, for those wall upgrades.
How may I be of service?
There you are. There's Connor, my compatriots, and now the captain, eh? It's me, you know, David. My fellows and I have been adventuring for some time. You got my note about Port Last, right? Your Connor was right, you know. Dark deeds happening on the Luskan border. After that, we took to the road and I found an old lady and rescued a cat. We each got an apple.
Ooh, apples! Those red things that are so crunchy and delicious. Or am I thinking of crimson venom spiders?
Well, if it had been the captain doing it, the cat would be lost, the tree burned down, and the old lady would be traveling with us now.
Keep to the point, David. Let's not take up any more of the captain's time.
Right you are. Should I ask him about rumors? No, I'm sure the innkeep will have those. Do you know of any jobs for an adventurer?
I still don't think these adventurers are ready to face anything more difficult than a sickly kobold.
Alright, well, anything you can do, and let's ask him about the King of Shadows.
The King of Shadows? Why, yes.
Juin, Candrel, we have our quest to find out about the King of Shadows. Pack the saddlebags on the horses. There must be clues around. Adventure awaits!
Sorry, Captain. David can be, well, you know. Blessings to you all.
One of these days, Captain. You know you're going to get them all killed.
Well, you know, that's part of the allure of the adventurer lifestyle, right? Let's talk to Torio now that she's here. And I told her she had a duty to repay, and I'm getting too much lawful. And she doesn't know of anybody else to recruit, which is good, because there isn't anybody else. Let's talk to Kana. And again, the training of the Grey Cloaks is improved, but we are still going to have them train. And we can look at the status report. And our training is very good now. And probably will, from this point on, I'll actually have them start doing patrols and such rather than training. But this is one last set of training. Back outside, back inside. I actually am almost out of money. I can barely afford that last upgrade. I actually had to sell off just a random piece of junk that I was thinking about using a short sword of haste, which casts very low level, short duration haste. One of the things that was dropped by one of those bounty hunters. Anyway, our force that we sent out to the Halfling village essentially kicked ass and took names, so we are going to keep them back in training and go back outside. I had him rebuild the library. There's only a couple things left, and actually they're fairly cheap on the scale of the amount of money I've been spending, but I am really out of cash. And we're kind of out of time for this episode, so I guess that fits. See you next time when we complete our little jaunt through managing the keep.